right, everybody, welcome back to another deep dive with us. And today we are diving into, well, something that I think is going to resonate with everybody out there.
Yeah.
Food safety.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our listeners wrote in about this and
Right.
and kind of wanted to get a little bit more information after they saw a recall notice that frankly made sriracha cheddar lovers everywhere just a little bit nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable. So, I mean,
Right.
it's not every day that you see a cheese recall being linked to something as serious as Listeria.
Yeah, no kidding. And this one was specifically for Lidl's Deluxe Sriracha Cheddar Cheese wedges in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
The part that really caught my eye, though, was the mention of Listeria
Mm-hmm.
and its potential to cause meningitis. And I have to admit, I don't know that much about Listeria beyond,
Yeah.
just seeing an occasional headline here and there.
Well, let's dive right in then, because it really is a fascinating and kind of slightly unnerving bacterium. Listeria monocytogenes is a pretty tough little bugger. It thrives in environments that most bacteria wouldn't stand a chance, like soil and water, and even some animals.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the real kicker. It can survive refrigeration.
Oh, wow.
And even some pretty common food processing techniques. So unfortunately, contamination can happen at various points, all the way from the farm to the factory to your fridge.
Okay, so that's way more detail than I think I was expecting. So it gets into the food, we eat it, and then what? What happens? The recall mentioned meningitis,
Right.
which just sounds
Yeah.
absolutely terrifying.
It is serious, no doubt. Meningitis is an inflammation of the membranes that protect your brain and spinal cord.
Oh, gosh.
Imagine those membranes as like a super secure fortress guarding your central nervous system.
Hmm.
Listeria, in some cases, can actually breach this fortress,
Wow.
the blood-brain barrier, and really wreak havoc.
Now that you put it that way, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi thriller.
Right.
The article also mentioned flu-like symptoms. So is that the first sign of trouble?
Not necessarily listeriosis. The illness caused by listeria can be really tricky.
Okay.
Some people experience mild flu-like symptoms like fever, muscle aches, chills. Others might have gastrointestinal issues like nausea and diarrhea.
Okay.
But here's the catch. It can take weeks, even months, for symptoms to appear.
Oh, wow.
And this delayed onset is what makes listeria so insidious. You might have eaten contaminated food weeks ago, feel perfectly fine, and then suddenly, bam, you get hit with a severe illness.
Wow, that's a long time to be walking around not knowing that you've been exposed. So in this case, with this cheese, if somebody bought it, what should they do? Just chuck it right in the trash?
Absolutely. Lidl is urging all customers to return any 150-gram packs of Deluxe Sriracha Cheddar Cheese wedges with a best before date of May 11th, 2025.
Very specific.
It is very specific, and the good news is they're offering a full refund, with or without a receipt.
Okay, yeah.
They're taking this very seriously.
That's good to hear. I also noticed the article mentioned another unrelated recall happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Asda and Sainsbury's had to pull some products due to undeclared soya.
Right.
That seems like a whole different ballgame.
It is, and it really just highlights how food recalls are such a multifaceted issue. In the case of the soya allergy, it's a labeling oversight. That could pose a serious threat to individuals with soya allergies.
Right.
But both situations underscore the importance of robust food safety systems.
Yeah.
We rely on these systems to catch potential hazards before they reach consumers.
So we've covered Listeria. Are there other things lurking in our food that we should be aware of? What are the biggest culprits when it comes to foodborne illnesses?
That's a great question. Listeria is certainly a major concern, but it's not alone. Salmonella and E. coli are other common bacteria that can cause food poisoning. Then there are viruses like norovirus, which can spread really rapidly through contaminated food or surfaces. And we also can't forget about parasites like tapeworms that can be found in undercooked meat. And then, as we saw with the soya recall, there are allergens, which might not be inherently dangerous to everyone, but can be life-threatening for those with specific allergies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how many different things can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of these potential hazards, what can we as consumers do to minimize our risk?
Well, that's where awareness and some simple precautions come in.
Okay.
Always check for recall notices, especially for products that you consume regularly. Practice meticulous food hygiene, like washing your hands thoroughly before handling food, and properly cleaning surfaces and utensils.
Got it.
And then pay attention to food storage. Keep your fridge at the right temperature. Separate raw meat from other foods and be mindful of expiration dates.
It seems like a lot to remember, but it's definitely worth it to stay safe.